Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Mushahid Hussain Syed, हमारे दोस्त कश्मीर के freedom fighters मौजूद हैं, and it's a great pleasure to be here. This is an amazing report which has come from the Stoke and White investigation team along with Hisab, and I would like to compliment them because this report is based on research, empirical research, facts on the ground. Please see the report, Silencing Journalism and Human Rights in Kashmir. And we are talking of Indian occupied Kashmir, which has been annexed by India on 5th of August 2019 and also partitioned illegally and without recourse to law. Now, what is this special about this report? And I'd like to just mention some of the highlights. It is based on 2,000 testimonies. They met 2,000 different people. They got their written and oral testimonies in the record. And they have documented 450 cases of torture in Indian occupied Kashmir, 1,500 cases of pellet gun victims. And most of the pellet gun victims are children. And pellet gun means the pellet gun is used to hunt animals. And that is used against the innocent children, the girls, the boys, men and women of Indian occupied Kashmir. There are 100 cases of enforced disappearances and 30 cases of sexual violence. And on top of that, when we are talking about this report, as we speak, last week, 2.7 million people who were non-Kashmiris belonging to different parts of India who are currently in occupied Kashmir, whether they are military personnel, bureaucracy and others, including 100,000 parachuriks of the RSS. Parachuriks are like the brown shirts of the Nazi party. They are fascists and they are the ideological, they were there. They have been given the right to vote in Indian occupied Kashmir. And 4 million new domiciles have already been issued. The people can stay there. So the voters list has been changed. Domiciles have been issued to outsiders. So basically what we are seeing is a very dangerous and insidious design to transform and change the demographic balance of Indian occupied Kashmir and make the Muslims, who are the majority, into a minority. Similar to what Israel is doing in occupied Palestine and Gaza and West Bank. Occupied Kashmir also has seen since 5th August 2019 the longest lockdown in history, internet lockdown, not COVID lockdown, 213 days. And among the targets of what the human rights report has mentioned, and also I'd like to mention economically, according to the Washington Post, $5.3 billion of the Kashmiri economy has been wasted or squandered. 500,000 Kashmiris have lost their jobs because of what India has done after 5th of August 2019. And one of the main targets of Indian occupation is the heroic human rights defender Khurram Parvez. Khurram Parvez, as you know, is an icon. He has been the head of this Jammu and Kashmir Coalition of Civil Society and also the chair of the Asian Federation Against Involuntary Disappearances. And his only crime has been to speak the truth. And on that basis, he has been charged with terrorism when he's a peaceful activist for rights of his people. And he has been charged by this organization called the NIA, National Investigation Agency, which is the lead organization. This is like the Indian Gestapo. In Nazi Germany, there was a Gestapo which used to do this work. This is the Indian version of the Gestapo in the 21st century, which is doing capturing people, torturing people, jailing people, killing people. And this is supposed to be doing counter-terrorism, but what they're doing is one-point agenda to suppress, to brutalize, and to eliminate any voices of resistance, people who speak the truth. So in this context, I think it's very important to understand that what is happening in Indian occupied Kashmir is something unique, because normally in other areas we see there is targets are either men or women or children or separately. But this is the only warfare I can see. There are two things unique. Children, women and men are being affected. Rape is being used as a weapon of war. Children are being targeted pellet guns, and people are being kidnapped, and men also are punished. And the highest soldier to civilian ratio in modern warfare, 900,000 Indian occupied people, Indian occupation forces, whether army, paramilitary, police, NIA. So what is happening in Kashmir is a crime against humanity. We all must speak up on that. I in the Pakistan Parliament initiated 2 resolutions, including a very important one about political prisoners, including Mishal's husband Yasin Malik Sahab and Asi Andrabi Sahiba and Qasim Fakhtu Sahab, and also on Khurram Parvez Sahab. And I would like to conclude with a quotation by an Indian writer about what is happening in India today. Arundhati Roy wrote in the New York Times, an architecture of fascism is being erected in India. In today's India, RSS is the state. It was published on 15th of August in the New York Times. The way forward, we must speak up. Maybe we should try to form an international tribunal on Indian war crimes, on Indian crimes against humanity, led by Dr. Mahathir or some such person. There used to be a tribunal on Vietnam by Bertrand Russell on the same platform. And more importantly, if Gambia, a small country of the OIC, can go to court, to the international court against Myanmar on Rohingya, why can't some activists go to the International Court of Justice on the issue of Kashmir and take RSS to court? Because RSS is a fascist organization and they're doing ethnic cleansing. They are targeting the Kashmiri Muslims. And I would also like to conclude with a quote by an American, Dr. Gregory Stanton, on 12th of January 2022. Gregory Stanton is the president of the Genocide Watch in America. And he said, and I quote, "In India today, we see the makings of a genocide in Kashmir and Assam." So these are Western sources, and the time has come to speak up, to wake up, and to take the bull by the horns and expose these crimes being committed, Indian state terrorism by the regime in Delhi and by especially the RSS. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I commend